A $120 gift certificate every week. That's right, we're giving away $120 every week as a thank you for being part of our story. Don't miss your chance to treat yourself. Follow Sartor Hamann Jewelers today. Celebrating 120 years. Sartor Hamann, when only the best will do.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Hi, I'm Sarai, your personal banker here at Midwest Bank. I'm proud to serve our community in English and in Espanol because everyone deserves a banker who understands them. This Hispanic Heritage Month, we're celebrating the traditions, values, and dreams that make our community strong. Whether you're opening your first account, planning for the future, or growing your business, estoy aquí para ayudarle a alcanzar sus metas. I'm here to help you reach your goals. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley. Defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror. Number 43.
And Jake Bockoven. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
Welcome to Bock The Blackshirt here at 93.7 The Ticket. It is a rainy day here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Monday, October the 6th, Bock, 2025. I'm about to say 19 something.
Hey.
All right, Bock, Saturday, we face another, I can say, good challenge. October 11th, 25th, Nebraska will travel for its first away game of the season. Kansas City was a home game also, so we're not going to count that one. Nebraska versus Maryland. Bock, let's get to it. I'm gonna try something different today. try to be nice about things, what I say and how I say it. I'm gonna let you start it off, Bob, this weekend game.
All right. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one where like you're kind of breaking down there. You might have a few thoughts from. Everybody might. I mean, it was one that held, kind of tested Nebraska's fans as we kind of sat nervously there through the second and third quarter. Michigan State, of course, even took a lead. At some point, it looked like Nebraska early on. I think that was part of the disappointment. It looked like Nebraska was going to steamroll Michigan State as they jumped out to an early lead. But then Michigan State was fighting back, and Nebraska had to find a way, gut it out, and get a win, and they did. And so, there's a lot that you can kind of take away from this. Different ideas that we had going into the game that played out poorly. Some ideas that we had going into the game that worked out well. So it's ultimately a W for Nebraska. I think that's the biggest thing, the biggest takeaway. You move on 4-1. Not every game is going to be the prettiest. The wind certainly was a factor, a big factor in this game. The offensive line, the sacks given up between them and on Dillon himself is something that's going to become more of a concern moving on. But again, on the opposite side, you can say, hey, there was some improvement here. Last week, John Butler called Nebraska's rush defense the elephant in the room. It gave up less than 100 yards here, or no rush over 20 yards, 2.3 yards per carry. That's an improvement. Special teams, obviously, was huge in this game. That's an improvement. Williams Winieri, he's got a black shirt now. He was all over the field. Vincent Shaver's all over the field. So he kind of had some young guys stepping up and making looking really good. Pass defense continues to be a strength. Deshaun Singleton, we should mention his name. He had 2 interceptions, oddly enough, in a quarter which Nebraska did not score. So it was kind of interesting. A lot of things could have get better. A lot of things could have went worse, but ultimately Nebraska gets away with the win.
Not pretty.
No, not necessarily.
Some wins are pretty, some are ugly. When I say ugly, I'll take the ugly W because that's the way the game goes sometimes. Now, I went to the game, Bob. I stayed about 2 quarters. You know me, I get bored a lot easily, and I like to just leave. But thinking when the score was 14-0, I was like, okay, I think this is a runaway game. You score on special teams. You get put in pretty good possessions of special teams to get put in good field position. When I say that, this Nebraska team is finding ways to win. That's a good thing because lately, 2-3 years ago, we always found ways to lose. We would have lost this game probably 3 years ago. Michigan State is an okay team. Some things we still have to go to the drawing board with, especially with the offensive line. I think some guys I don't think this was a great team effort right here. It kind of was in the fourth quarter, but when you look at the stats, they don't say much. If I had to say anything, if I had to put an MVP on things for the game, probably Emmett or Ja'Cory Barney, who probably is one of the most dynamic players in college football when you talk about Ja'Cory Barney and the things he do. Not just catching, but punt returns. We seen that. Took one to the house, got called back, but at the same time, that's how stuff go, Bob. All right. Dylan Raiola, 16 of 24, 194 yards, 1 touchdown. I think it was 1 interception, too. 5 sacks. Emmett Johnson, 13 carries, 83 yards, 23 long, 6.4 carry. Still looking for that mystery number 2 back, Bach. Unless somebody got some carries I didn't see, but Makai Nelson, 1 yard, 1 carry, 11 yards. Isaiah Nair, 3 carries, 9 yards. Mose. Heinrich, 1 for 2. Dylan, 9 for 18.
Minus 17.
Oh, minus 17. Oh, my God.
Sacks, yeah.
Oh.
He did have like 13 yards on the first drive, though, rushing.
Yeah, I mean, that one run he had, he's not a running quarterback.
Right.
He's he cannot run to save his life. Not saying that's a bad thing, but that's the saying. He's not trying to run it. He runs when he feels like it, but he's not a runner, Bob. So we can stop all that. He needs to be on play action pass. Nah, just let him sit back there. Just need to get the ball get out of his hand quicker, Bob. Ain't too much I can say, Bob. Like I said, it started off 14-0. Looked like it was going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
Michigan State comes back. I think they come back, take the lead.
Yeah.
Nebraska comes back, ties it up. Then you go 21 points straight.
Yeah, I think they had they had 14, the first 14. Then Michigan State had the next 21. I think Nebraska had the next 17, and Michigan finished off with the 6.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah. Game of streaks.
No, I mean, it was a great game. It was exciting. I mean, just happy for these young men just to get a victory like that. I mean, it could have went any way, Bach. That game was probably good to around about the middle of the third. I mean, middle of the fourth. Tied up. It was a good third quarter. I mean, Aiden Childs is a good quarterback. He makes mistakes also. 2 back-to-back interceptions. Javen Wright played great. Vincent Shavers played great. Deshaun Singleton played great. The pressure we had was okay for a Michigan State team. Not going to talk about the bad. I mean, we're going to talk about probably the next segment, but but
we got a long week. We got to
it's still a long way to go, Bob, for me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's the lens you view it through. I'm not sure if you felt like Nebraska, again, is ready to go out there and take down Ohio State. But again, part of it is not just so focusing solely on Nebraska. Like, look what happened this week. UCLA hadn't led a game this year, and they beat Penn State. So, we always talk about the SEC and how difficult it is to play week in and week out there. You're going to get a pretty good competition there in the Big Ten. And the Michigan State, they might not be a great team, but they're going to fight. And they're trying to build their own thing. And they gave Nebraska a pretty good game here. Nebraska, I mean, this is you could say it. I mean, we do it with the Michigan game, a few plays away from being a different score in either direction. Nebraska could have blown this game out. Nebraska could have lost this game. But they made the few important plays that they needed to. And you just talk about resiliency. That's what a lot of people are kind of taking away as the positive here, is that, as we talked about it, Nebraska, after going up 14-0, and then eventually goes down 21-14, how many teams over the last 10 years would win that game? How many teams over the last 10 years would say, here we go again? Now, again, that was a lot part of kind of the Scott Frost era. But it's not like these one-possession games or close games hasn't been a problem for Matt Rule, too. So as part of building that, and here in year 3, that's what we asked for. It's at least I think is a reasonable stride forward. It's not necessarily, hey, I want this team to win the national championship. Of course, we all want their team to win the national championship. We want to see them get better and all that. But a realistic stride forward would be win the games that you are close in. Win the games
you're supposed to win.
The opportunities there that you're supposed to win, right, against Michigan State. And I think they've done that so far, and they did a good job. Again, this is a game of overcoming obstacles, overcoming the wind, overcoming even if it's on your own fault, right? Like the pass rush. That was a problem Nebraska had a hard time figuring out one way or the other against Michigan State. Still able to fight through it and get the victory. And I think this defense played pretty darn well, especially for a game where you gave up 27 points, because generally, sometimes that's not going to do it. But 12 tackles for loss, 4 sacks on their own right. Again, from Javen Wright to Vincent Shavers, Deshaun Singleton, Williams Maneri, a lot of standout guys that you can point out there. Judy got another sack. So again, it wasn't all perfect. It made us hold our breath at times. But how about the special teams improving from year to year? But it's just coming in and getting a blocked field goal, a kick. I've been making jokes all year, at least the beginning of the year, about Nebraska's kind of directional kick ideas in the special teams. Like, if you're going to kick them out of bounds, just kick it out of the end zone. Absolutely pivotal play was the muff kickoff return by Michigan State. And again, that's maybe more on them than it is on Nebraska, but I believe that's where they were trying to kick the ball. And that makes it difficult for those, the two guys didn't connect and make the decision on who was going to catch it. That, along with the win, made it difficult. So, it was a win, and that's the most important thing. A lot of things to clean up, and a lot of things to say are progressing in the right direction.
Yeah, it's still a long way to go, Bock. It's still a process. I mean, I think defense is really coming together now when you talk about in terms of sacks and getting INTs and getting off the field. I think they did a pretty good job. Still has some holes that was, still has some big running holes that was opening up. But as a unit, they scrapped to the ball. They all closed in well. And I think a kid like Javen Wright is probably the leader of this defense. When we talk about this defense, besides Deshaun Singleton, I think them two guys are the Nash and Ty that we missed from last year, and they really started to step up, especially Javen, man. He had a great game, great running there, jump over the guy. I don't know how he did it, but it was just a Bobby Boucher type of play.
Yeah.
Running there, jump over, flip over, and then sack the quarterback. Get a half a sack. I mean, that's what they gave him for it. But it was a great play. Deshaun Singleton, 2 INTs, almost got the fumble, ran back for a touchdown. That would have been a nice little nightcap right there for him. I think that would have probably put him at first team all Big Ten if that touchdown would have went through. You talk about the younger guys getting them go through. I seen Willis McGahee, he was out there. When you just talk about Andrew Marshall had some great tackles. William Nwili, he played great. Elijah Judy, he's getting active in there. Cam Linhart with a great sack that he got. So if you going by McDonald's, that's your Big Mac for the day.
There
Big Mac sack.
I don't know if they still do that, but I did enjoy when they did.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know if they still do that. I haven't been by on a Victory Monday.
All right, Bock, let's go to break, and when we come back, let's talk some more Nebraska football. I want to hear from the fans. I want to hear what they got to say. I want to read some texts to y'all and answer some questions and let Bock take over. 93.7 The Ticket. Bock and the Black Shirt.
This is your year, where your team takes it all the way. Win way more than bragging rights at Warhorse Casino, where your love of the game could put $1 million in your pocket. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with prizes all season long. Weekly cash prizes up to $1,000 cash, season-long leaderboards, and a chance to win $1 million. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Hi, I'm Sarai, your personal banker here at Midwest Bank. I'm proud to serve our community in English and in Espanol because everyone deserves a banker who understands them. This Hispanic Heritage Month, we're celebrating the traditions, values, and dreams that make our community strong. Whether you're opening your first account, planning for the future, or growing your business, estoy aquí para ayudarle a alcanzar sus metas. I'm here to help you reach your goals. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
I can't believe I just scratched that card. Find my insurance card.
Dude, what do you have in this glove box? Ew, are these socks dirty?
Oh, forget about the socks. I need my insurance card.
Just pull it up on the State Farm mobile app.
But I can do that? Oh, hey, I can do that.
Yep, it's called service.
I can file a claim on here too?
Yeah, it's called service.
Whoa, I can call my agent too?
It's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krikak, today at 402-474-1173.
Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Comfort food, but make it vegan. At Rutabagas, they're serving all your crave-worthy classics. Mac and cheese, loaded nachos, Philly cheesesteaks, all 100% plant-powered and 100% delicious. Catch them at their cozy spot at 70th and Vine or find their food truck rolling through the streets of Lincoln. So whether you're vegan, veg curious, or just hungry for comfort food with a twist, Rutabagas has a plate waiting for you. Find them on Instagram for their food truck location and specials. Rutabagas, where comfort meets compassion.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Nebraska Lottery.
Do you have a new lotto game called Nebraska Pick 4?
Yes, sir. It costs just $1 to play. There's a $6,000 top prize with drawings every day, and you can choose from 6 different bet types.
Kind of like Nebraska Pick 3 with a bigger jackpot and more bet options?
Yes, sir. Any other questions I can answer?
Yeah, I misplaced my phone. Do you know where it is?
You're using it.
Ah, so I am. You lottery people know everything.
Straight bet top prize odds 1 in 10,000.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock and the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. We are powered by Bauer.
Underground.
Barrett.
Excavating.
All right, Bock, let's get it started. Special teams. Gus Mohawk says special teams looks a lot better this year. How about that block in return for a touchdown as a front block extraordinary? How did that make you feel? It was a good kick. It was a great block. I think his angle could have been a little bit different because you never want to run into the kicker straight like that in case the ball escapes you. But he did get the whole ball. Good job by Carter Nelson to scoop and score. I think special team has really took us to a different level of team when we talk about special teams. I think especially with Ja'Cory Bunny returning punt returns, how electric can that be? Punts wasn't the best. I think we was 3 for 40 kicks on 40 yards on punt. I mean, that's a decent average. Archie had 4 punts for 120 yards, 30 average. So that's one spot. But he's still, the win was a factor in this game, Box. So we can't really put that average due to what his kicking, because we know what he can do. I mean, we all know the win was a factor for everybody, not only Michigan State, but for us also.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was, and that's why, again, I don't put that too much on special teams as far as not being able to punt. You want to be able to get over it. I mean, obviously, I think he had like an 18-yard punt or something like that that held it down. So, I mean, like every punter, he's gonna miss one or two, and didn't have the best day there, but he did have, half his punts went inside the 20, which is always part of the goal. So there is that. But yeah, I mean, overall, special teams and just the jump that they've made has been incredible. And it was fun too to see, watch that play out, because Deshaun McCullough was kind of talking about on their special teams. Jameer Khan was doing it against that look all week. I said it might have got like 15 or 10 blocks this week. So it was something that they kind of schemed. They knew was coming from Michigan State, and they saw something in their scouting report that said, hey, we can get one done here.
A lazy guy.
Yeah.
They seen a lazy guy, and they took advantage of that guy. Didn't block out, straight block down, was lazy with it. That's what you like in a special team guy, really, when you can catch him slipping like that and just get a block punt for a touchdown to help Nebraska offense out.
Yeah, it definitely helps when it bounces right into your player's lap as well. Like you said, it was. I didn't know if he took the worst of it. He took a kick to the gut, and the ball kind of went in the nether regions. But he gave himself up to get that punt block. And Carter Nelson, it was also interesting. Of course, he had a penalty later on in the game that would cost Nebraska a little bit. But for that play, you see the young guys kind of playing on special teams. That's his first touchdown of the year. I think he only has one reception so far this year. So at least, able to feed Carter Nelson throughout it as well.
All right, Bob. Wet Blanket says Nebraska scored 38 points while actually moving backwards on offense for nearly 2 quarters. I don't know if that is encouraging or terrified. Same with me. I think this was like it was just like a up and down game until finally we took it all the way up. And that's what kind of games you have to see if you can, despite not having a great offense today, despite not having great numbers, you still was able to pull off the game by 11 points.
Yeah, I mean, and I know particularly that one drive there, mid-second quarter, wherever it was there in the second quarter, Nebraska had good field position. They're up 14-7, and it looked like the opportunity was there. In fact, the second quarter is full of opportunities. It just Nebraska wasn't able to land them again. And that's what he's talking about, kind of moving backward there in the second quarter. So they had that drive where they got the ball, I think, in Michigan State territory, 3 plays minus 32 yards, a sack, a false start, and a negative 15-yard run that wasn't labeled a sack, but could have been a sack there too. And then that's where they had the 18-yard punt. So that was about as disastrous as a series can go. Then Deshaun Singleton gets an interception. Nebraska's drive ends on downs due to a sack. Then Deshaun Singleton gets another interception, and then Nebraska has an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty that kills the drive, and Nebraska has to punt it in the half. So, I mean, there were opportunities in that second quarter, certainly to make a difference and to put some space between them and Michigan State. Instead, they go into half up just 14-7, and we were in a game. And of course, Michigan State scored, in the next couple of possessions in the third quarter, but scored first in the third quarter. So it really took a turn there, and that's why I think a lot of people are feeling a little bit uneasy about this game, because there were some opportunities to, potentially win this a lot earlier than it necessarily took. But again, that's going to be the ups and downs. And I think another part of it is we watched the first quarter. The first quarter was all Nebraska, and it was like, Nebraska's going to blow this team out. So he kind of give you the idea, hey, Michigan State's not good in the first quarter. And then you watch the team that's not good, and Nebraska kind of killing themselves and allow Michigan State to get back into it. And you're thinking, well, this isn't where Nebraska needs to be. This is, could be embarrassing if they lose all of that. But ultimately, let it play out. Nebraska made enough plays, more plays than the visiting Michigan State Spartans down the stretch, and got the win.
All right, Bach. Justin from Hickman says defense looks like it's figured out the lineup and who's the dogs are. The Wheelies is going to be big time. Yeah, the season is still young for this young man. I mean, only thing he can do is get better from, he's just a sophomore?
Redshirt freshman, yeah.
Hell, he's a redshirt freshman.
Yeah.
So, I think the main thing for him, Bach, is one good summer of, packing that weight, putting that muscle together, and he could be that old style Randy Gregory player like we used to have back when we had Randy Gregory. But I think the kid is going to be special. I think he's a great player. I think the other guys are coming on. Some guys you would like to see more out there, but you don't question the coaching staff about how they play their players. I think they're doing an excellent job with the rotations. Just keep going how they're going.
What it is, I mean, that is one thing you'll notice for Nebraska is a lot of rotation. There's certain spots where that may be less the case. It seems like they don't take Sierra right off the field all that much. I wouldn't either. He's been pretty locked down. He made some plays in this game as well. But yeah, there is a lot of rotation, but there is excitement for some of the young players on this roster. And it's been a while since Nebraska's had those guys that you're kind of thinking, all right, now years down the line, what's Vincent Shaver's going to look like? What's a Donnie Jones, a Rex Guthrie, certainly, like you were saying, Williams Winieri probably having the most potential out of all those guys, and he turned it on. He had his best game as a Husker so far, and there was a game where he scored a touchdown already for the Huskers. So he's coming on. He was all over the field. He looked fantastic, and I can't wait to see the growth of him. Now, I don't want to get into almost don't even want to say it, but the last guy I felt like pretty excited about when he was pretty young here at Nebraska was Ernest Hausman. So obviously in the NIL days, other teams are going to, recognize who are the young players on your team that are stepping up. So you got to take care of them.
Yeah, you do. You do, because this is a greedy game right here this is a greedy world we're in.
Yeah.
I mean, not just from players, but from other schools. Other schools want to get your pecking order. It's a lot going to happen this winter when the transfer portal do open, but just because it's only one window now, but we're not even worried about that. But we're still in good hands. We're 4-1. I think we're going in the right direction. Still a long season to go. It's just, I just want to take it one game at a time and see how these guys can really look forward to this Maryland game this week. Don't look ahead to any other game, the Minnesota game on Friday, whatever it is. But let's just concentrate on week by week.
Yeah, and of course with college football altogether, if you do kind of look ahead for Nebraska, which like you're saying, the team can't do, we kind of can here, is that, the UCLA Penn State game really kind of, obviously Nebraska plays both those teams here later in November. And for a lot of us, we're thinking, what's going to be left of UCLA by the time they get there? Now that game looks like it could be a little bit more of a challenge. Opposite thing with Penn State, though. Penn State was, they're unbeatable. There's no way Nebraska could even match up with them. Now Penn State looks a little bit more beatable. So there is kind of a window there. Obviously, though, it's kind of funny because last week, again, John Butler called the rush defense the elephant in the room. They shut that down for 1 week. That doesn't mean it's fixed. There could be some other teams that are gonna cause problems, headaches with that. So hopefully Nebraska continues to improve on that. Now the elephant in the room kind of shifts to that offensive line, though. And if you look at Big Ten schedule, particularly Maryland coming up with a lot of sacks already under their belt, it's almost I don't want to say that it can't get better, but you wonder how much better it can get. They've tried rotations. Now they settled in on Elijah Pritchett on the outside, alongside Gunnar Katula on the other side. And we'll see. Mixed results, if you want to call it that. Probably not great results from the Michigan State game, a team that didn't have sacks in their previous Power 4 games against USC, and then against a team that's really not looking too good anymore in Boston College. And so, I don't know if that Michigan State pass rush was great, but that's something that I think is going to be, and Adam Carricker put it this way, it's the only position on the field he doesn't necessarily, he gets nervous. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but yeah, there's not a whole lot of trust right now. And Nebraska's offense is a lot built on passing the ball, slinging the ball around. I did see a text here earlier. I don't know where it kind of went there, but do you think Boone and Firth here saying they need to roll Raiola out of the pocket more rather than just have him sitting in the pocket? Could that be another little angle Nebraska could take as far as trying to protect Dillon?
Well, I just think you probably need to leave a back in the backfield and somebody that can block for him. And he needs to learn what side he can run out to. I mean, most of the time he's running right into the traffic that's coming dead at him. I think if he tries to roll out the other way or try to get out the pocket the other way, it seems a little bit better. But he's just not it's something you can work on, Bach, but some things you just can't. You can't help it. He's not a mobile quarterback like that. He's an in the pocket passer. That's a good thing, but you're not trying to downplay it. But that's just the type of passer he is.
Yeah.
He's not looking to run. He wants to beat you with his arm. But with this offensive line that we're experimenting with or trying to come up with a combo of great linemen to block for him, it's going to take still a couple of games to get these guys ready.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I hope there is improvement there. I think at a certain point, and you kind of just acknowledge that it's a little bit of a weakness on the team. And again, we can throw all these different ideas of draws and screens and tight ends and running backs being. I mean, they know all the ideas, and they've still been able to get 38 points despite a troublesome offensive line, at least pass protection wise against Sparty. So. It's I think it's just kind of part of what will be the weakness. I don't think this is going to be an offensive line that by the end of the year is going to, not allow any sacks to Penn State and UCLA, and Nebraska's going to run the ball for 200 yards a game. I think you kind of get to know your team at this point, and that might be a little bit of a problem for Nebraska, or to be quite honest, it is the big problem for Nebraska, but so you got to do your best to minimize that. And part of it, certainly, and I want to hear your thoughts on this, Terrell, is on Dylan at times. His pocket awareness needs to get better. I think it maybe at times felt like it was improving from last season. This game, not a great indicator of that. But again, you look at the last two games, it's one thing to talk about pocket pressure and focusing on that, but that's what happens. That's what they're talking about. That's what when you rattle a quarterback, then they're going to play rattled.
Well, here's the thing, Bob. People always talk about, 3-second rule. You got 3 seconds to throw the ball. When you play against teams that's better than yours or defenses that's real speedy, sometimes it's 2.5 or below. Oh, yeah. So you can say 3 seconds. I'm not giving you 3 seconds to throw. I'm going to give you probably 2 or 2.5. But, 2.5 is probably the minimum of trying to get the ball out. It's just quicker athletes and more, just takes a while for the receivers to get open when you got a 5-6 man rush coming at you.
Now they did again. They settled in. They've been doing rotation all season. This game they went with Pritchard and Gatula. Given the results, you think should be the plan going into Maryland?
Well, running backs, you gotta get better. I mean, and better is not going to be just by practice. It's going to be game mode too. So I mean, if you're comfortable with you can't blame those two guys for how this game turned out. This is more than just two guys on the offensive line. This goes to every other position out on the field. Got to get better.
Absolutely. We'll continue to talk about this game and college football as a whole. Wild weekend in college football next year on Bock The Blackshirt on 93.7 The Ticket.
Nebraska Lottery.
Do you have a new lotto game called Nebraska Pick 4?
Yes, sir. It costs just $1 to play. There's a $6,000 top prize with drawings every day, and you can choose from 6 different bet types.
Kind of like Nebraska Pick 3 with a bigger jackpot and more bet options?
Yes, sir. Any other questions I can answer?
Yeah, I misplaced my phone. Do you know where it is?
You're using it.
Ah, so I am. You lottery people know everything.
Straight bet top prize odds 1 in 10,000.
Comfort food, but make it vegan. At Rutabagas, they're serving all your crave-worthy classics. Mac and cheese, loaded nachos, Philly cheesesteaks, all 100% plant-powered and 100% delicious. Catch them at their cozy spot at 70th and Vine, or find their food truck rolling through the streets of Lincoln. So whether you're vegan, veg curious, or just hungry for comfort food with a twist, Rutabagas has a plate waiting for you. Find them on Instagram for their food truck location and specials. Rutabagas, where comfort meets compassion.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week and attractive benefits package and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Hay harvest is a race against time. Order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower to harvest your hay quickly and efficiently while promoting quick dry down for quality hay. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details on a new self-propelled windrower and experience the Landmark difference.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
It's hard to choose a favorite at Hog Wild, but I'd have to say it's their award-winning ribs. Hog Wild buys their meat from those who share their high-quality standards, then hand rubs each slab with their famous seasoning blend and slow smokes them over hickory each and every day for flavor and tenderness you're gonna keep coming back for. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole Ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
The temperature and leaves are falling daily, so that means it's time for a new pair of shoes for the fall season from Brown's Shoe Fit. Now through October 31st, take $15 off any regularly priced fall shoes and boots. Brands like Keen, Oboz, Echo, Taos, and Atrex all $15 off. Some exclusions may apply. See store for details. This is the sale you've all been waiting for, so get down to Brown's Shoe Fit on 66th and Q.
You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to Bock and the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. Bock, you got something to tell the people?
Oh, absolutely. Another chance to win some money. You know us on the Bock and the Blackshirt. We like to give things away. We'll have some Bar 48 gift cards later in the week. But we're going to continue Cash Blitz keyword here this week as well. It's time for the $1,000 cash contest keyword. Text the word that I tell you to 508-777-1000 or head to our website at ticketfm.com and click on Cash Blitz to enter. I'll give you a second to pull out your phone or open the site. Once again, the number is 508-777-1000. Of course, costs you nothing to enter, but a chance to win $1,000. All right, today's keyword here on Bock the Blackshirt is sand. That's spelled S-A-N-D, sand, like sand volleyball. Sand is the word today. Remember, every keyword you enter is another chance to win. One lucky listener will take home $1,000 tomorrow around noon. This is a national contest, but we hope to get a winner here in Lincoln or the surrounding area. Actually, I don't care where you are from, as long as you're listening to us and get the keyword sand. We hope will be the victor for this prize today.
All right, Bock, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, Bock. We're just gonna do this right here. Let's go grades and start the game, because I want to get off this game. Let's put it behind us. Let's move on to Maryland. We got a lot of football to talk about today. We got a lot I want to go over. All right, Bock, for me, I'm gonna get my grades out. Dylan Riola, quarterback, B-. B-, not yards that you wanted. He did lead the offense to great drives, probably some great checkouts. Did take 4 sacks. Give him a B-. Running back, give him a B. Offensive line, give them a C-. They still, opened some holes up for Emmett, blocked long enough to get some passes off. That's it. Defensive line, I give them a A+. I think they're coming into their game. William Nwili, especially Cam Linhart, he got a sack. Nwili got a sack. Elijah Judy got a sack. So I'll give the defense. I'll give him an A, Bock, today.
There you go. Yeah. Give
him an A. Linebackers, I'll give him an A. I think Vincent Shavers and when you talk about Vincent Shavers and Buddha, Javen Wright, those two play great together. Two playmakers on the field at the same time. Don't know if Marquise White Trent is hurt, but let these two young guys play. Just let these two linebackers play. I see no reason to rotate, especially at linebacker position. That's a position where that guy can go hunt for three straight plays. So, good job by the linebackers. DBs, A, led by Deshaun Singleton. Sierra Wright played a great game. Marshall had some great tackles. Guthrie had some great plays. So I think overall, I give him that A for on all of the defense. Special teams, I give him a B-. Not a very good day punting. Wind was a factor. You did have some penalties on punt return. Did have a punt block. But at the same time, when you get penalties of blocking in the back, it kind of hurts you. So I give him a B-, Bock.
Yeah, I don't mind your grades there. You're a little bit maybe nicer than others might be. A lot of A's and B's in there. I know you give the C to the offensive line, or C-, whatever you kind of landed on there. I don't have a whole lot of problem with a lot of it though. It's an interesting game to grade because you break it down by quarter and you can almost have different grades, all around that drop into the F category. Certainly at times for the offense there in the second quarter. Like I said, the defense, stepped up and for what they were able to do. There were a few things that were a little bit concerning. Aiden Childs ultimately did not have, I would go ahead and say it. I was a little bit underwhelmed by Aiden Childs. The wind was really bothering him. Deshaun Singleton was the primary beneficiary of that in this game with some overthrows there. But there were also times when Nebraska struggled a little bit. Childs was able to sneak his way on that 16-yard scramble. There was a lot of guys that looked like they could get a shot on him and just weren't able to. He just kind of slid his way through. And then, what was that, a 4-yard, 6-yard quarterback sneak for the touchdown? That was a little bit odd. So again, there's times where even the I guess the area of the game that played well, and maybe we're kind of grading by on a curve here because we know where the rush defense has been. But again, you only give up 86 yards rushing to Michigan State, 2.3 yards per attempt. Overall, that's a good grade. Individually on those two plays that I'm talking about, were pretty bad. So, it can kind of go, kind of go all around there. Important stat here, I think, for Nebraska and Michigan State too, that we'd like to look at, especially for the defense, trying to get off the field more often than not. Michigan State 2 of 14 on third down. So in that regard, you think, oh, great. They were 4 of 5 on fourth down, though. I mean, and that is directly getting off the field there. So that could be something that could swing a ball game a little bit closer to Michigan State's favor, and it did. Nebraska on the other end of that, they took some chances too. They were 0-2 on fourth down, but did better in the third down category with 5 of 13. So that's good. Now, again, I think when you're looking at if a team is well coached, I mean, there's all different kind of things you can look into, but we always, kind of like to circle penalties and turnovers. Nebraska just 1 turnover today or this game, and of course Michigan State had 3 of them. They continue to be on the better part of that for the majority of the year, and that's why they're 4-1. A big part of that, of course, that was a problem more than anything 2 years ago, but it can be problematic over the last 10 years for Nebraska. Penalties, they did have 6 penalties for 44 yards. Not awful, not great, not one way or the other. They were there at times to hurt Nebraska. As we know, the Carter Nelson blocking the back was one that hurt Nebraska. Would Barney have been able to make it through without that? Questionable. The guy might have been able to get there. So there is that. And then, Elijah Pritchett did have a false start. I think that particularly hurt Nebraska going from a 3rd and 8 to 3rd and 13, and they had to punt the next play. So there's some penalties that hurt Nebraska, but overall, I think they played a relatively clean game.
All right, Buck. Offense and defensive MVP. For me, I go Ja'Cory Barney. Even though he had 47 yards receiving, he had 81 yards in punt returns. And defense for me, Deshaun Singleton. 2 picks, almost a touchdown, almost had the hat trick, but got called back.
Yeah, I like it. Not a bad pick. I'm going to go with Isaiah Hunter. I think you mentioned Emmett Johnson certainly could be a picker from, in the day too. He had 3 touchdowns, but Isaiah's, kind of breaking that long one without a shoe on his foot was the big one. The 59-yarder for the day. Had some other big catches as well, almost 100 yards and a touchdown. Interesting that Dane Key, no reception in this game. Of course, as one of the big-time receivers they got in the transfer portal. We'll see if they can get him involved a little bit more, but I'd say Isaiah Hunter's there. And again, I do like your pick there, but I think, a big part of this game too, I would go with Javen Wright as my defensive MVP. Nebraska had 12 tackles for loss. He had 3.5. And of course, just only got the credit for half that sack there when he flew over the top when Neary was there. So it's fair enough because he got half that sack as well. But overall, it's funny because over the years, and of course, Javen Wright's been around a while, but he's just flashed a lot of potential here and there. And in this game, I think it kind of all came together for maybe the most complete game of his career.
All right. First hour is up with Bock the Blackshirt. When we get back, we'll talk some more college football. Top 25. Who lost? Who won? And who's not coming back? Bock the Blackshirt, 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be right back.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
It's hard to choose a favorite at Hog Wild, but I'd have to say it's their award-winning ribs. Hog Wild buys their meat from those who share their high-quality standards, then hand rubs each slab with their famous seasoning blend and slow smokes them over hickory each and every day for flavor and tenderness you're gonna keep coming back for. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Hi, Sean Callahan here, and I've got some great news for you. Copple Chevrolet GMC is proud to be the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln metros. Copple is also celebrating its 50th anniversary, we want to say thank you to all of our customers that have helped us reach these milestones. So come see why so many customers, including myself, are choosing Koppel Chevrolet GMC for their automotive needs. Please check us out at koppelcars.com.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
From the capital to castles, starting this December, fly nonstop from Lincoln to Orlando with service from Breeze Airways. That's right, nonstop flights to Orlando out of LNK are starting this December. You're now just a flight away from Disney World, Universal Studios, Legoland, and the Space Coast. Stretch out and relax on Breeze with complimentary family seating. Book your magical getaway now at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Hay harvest is a race against time. Order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower to harvest your hay quickly and efficiently while promoting quick dry down for quality hay. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details on a new self-propelled windrower and experience the Landmark difference.
Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley. Defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror. Number 43.
And Jake Bockoven. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
.7 The Ticket, Bock in the Black Shirt here. We are here to talk some college football. Let's talk it, Bock. Penn State. Doesn't seem like they're the same anymore, Bock. Losing to UCLA over the weekend, Bock. What's up with that, Bock?
Well, it was certainly the shock of the weekend. I think anybody who tells you kind of in the betting community you could have bet the house on UCLA to lose that game. They had not I'm sure everybody's heard the stat by now, but they've not led a game at all this season, and then they end up absolutely shocking Penn State. And it wasn't one of those things. I mean, Penn State did get back into the game, but this was headed toward a blowout. And UCLA ultimately again improves to 1-4, 446 total yards against Penn State. They're able to kind of get it done a lot on the ground, 280 yards rushing against Penn State. That's just not gonna, and they didn't hurt themselves. No turnovers, 5 penalties, but 35 yards, not too bad there. Time of possession, they nearly doubled up the Nittany Lions, and now there's questions not only about Penn State. It's kind of funny because we watched Penn State and Texas go down this week, and they fall out of the top 25. But does that reflect back on those teams that we called the great ones, right? Ohio State, now, Oregon, Penn State, in beating them in overtime, all of a sudden might not look like the biggest deal in the world, or maybe Oregon somewhat beat Penn State twice, if you want to put it that way. You go back to Ohio State now. Close game with Texas. Texas could have scored at the 1-yard line, did not early in that game, end up losing that game by a touchdown. Now Texas is out of the top 25. Does that reflect on Ohio State? So now we've got these separations. We know about a few teams that aren't living up to the billing that we once had them at, but there's still some questions about those top teams that we have, and there's a clear ranking order within our head, but it's only just for 1 week because it's college football and it's miraculous, and we get these upsets. But this one would have to be among the top ones that we've had in a long time. In fact, Penn State is the first top 10 team, Phil Yates tweeted this out, to lose to an 0-4 or worse opponent in 40 years. So it wasn't just the upset of the weekend. This was close to an all-timer.
That's bad, Bock. And it's real bad, Bock, when you look at their stats. Drew Aller, 11 carries, 78 yards to lead Penn State in rushing. Katron Allen, 8 carries, 50 yards. Nicholas Singleton, 11 carries, 39 yards. And when you look over here at UCLA, Nico Lala.
Iamaliava, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just Nico. That's his name.
Nico, right.
Nico L. Or I, whatever it is. 16 carries, 28 yards, 3 touchdowns, longer 52. He also had Anthony Woods had 14 carries, 63 yards. Javannah Thomas had 16 carries, 60 yards. Drew Aller, 19 of 26, only 200 yards, 17 of 24 for Nico, 166 yards, 2 touchdowns. James Franklin, his job is on the line now, Bach. When we talk about what's going on in college football, there's a lot of teams. Look at Clemson. They're in the same boat with like Penn State is. Florida's in the same boat as Penn State is. Now Penn State's find themselves on the outside looking out now.
Yeah, and it was one of the post game questions was to James Franklin, because I mean, obviously he came into this year with pie high hopes. I mean, they were able to convince Creighton Allen and Nicholas Singleton and Drew Aller all to come back this year and try to lead this Penn State team. Of course, they were, if you want to put it in men's basketball terms, a Final Four. They were in the Final Four last year. They had a chance that they're that close to making the national championship game, and so he thought, he said, "This is the best team that we've had on paper." They were able to get Trevor Pena from Syracuse. That was not a cheap addition at the wide receiver position, of course. And so it's interesting, and so he was asked, what do you think now? And he said, "Well, obviously now I can't back that up." So it was kind of funny because the reporter thought he caught him with one, and James, I thought, answered it as well as he could. But I mean, I still think the hot seat stuff's a little bit silly. James Franklin, 104-44 at Penn State, just led them to the most victories they've ever had in a season with 13. That's coming off 10-win season, 11-win season. He's had some ho-hum seasons at Penn State before. Remember 2020, 4-5, 2021, 7-6. So if this does end up being that case, it will obviously, I think his job is safe, but it will be massively disappointing. And of course, he's got that tag to him of not being able to win the big game, but they've been able to win all the other games. And so now it's going to be intriguing to see, you look at Penn State's schedule down the line. If you can lose to UCLA, at least coming into the weekend, you could probably lose to just about anybody. And so to see how far this season kind of misses the goal is going to be interesting. Or, as we know, in the Big Ten, you finish with 2 losses, in the regular season, you're still going to have a chance. So I know a lot of people are writing Penn State off now. They've certainly got to get some things fixed, and they don't have the easiest of schedule. They've got at Ohio State on November 1st. That's after a trip to Iowa. They're going to have to do that as well. They've got Indiana, a top 10 team right now, coming to their house. And, of course, they've got Nebraska. Hopefully, by that time, will be pretty darn formidable. So it's not looking good for Penn State. I got to ask you, is that in your mind, can you get beat twice? Did they get beat twice by all the high hopes going into Oregon and then maybe kind of feeling like they could just walk through UCLA? I mean, that was the narrative going into that game. UCLA's switching coaches, trying to find. I mean, this was what was impressive about it. Of course, Rick Neuheisel's son, the offensive coordinator, and he talked about how after the game, he was not. It was his first game, and he was going through it. Like he wasn't always able to use his headset correctly and get the plays in. So even with some of that going on, he was able to beat Penn State. And if you remember, they've got Jim Knowles. They got the highest paid defensive coordinator in the nation. So this was a first time offensive coordinator calling his first game against the most respected defensive coordinator in the nation, and getting the win made it all the more special. But do you think they got beat twice by Oregon? You think that's possible?
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, Bob, let's go to Texas and Florida. Steve Sarkisian is no better than James Franklin when you talk about coaching style. I mean, when you talk about Steve Sarkisian supposed to have this almighty roster this year. They're preseason number one? Preseason number 1. Penn State preseason number 2. Now look at both of them. Not even in the rankings right now. Florida lost to Florida won. Also, Florida won against Texas 29-21. I don't think the Manning kid is the Manning kid, Buck. I think he's a imitator. Not an imitator, but he's just not that good.
Well, and they expected him to be the world, so I don't know if that's necessarily fair. Remember, they could still have had Quinn Ewers if they didn't chase him out of town. And there was a big, question about whether he was going to come back to college one way or the other, but it wasn't going to be at Texas. So not a great game for Arch Manning, 16 of 29, 263, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I believe he was sacked, several times. Don't have the exact number in front of me, but I'm trying to run it down. But yeah, I mean, this was an interesting game. And as you kind of put it, and you picked it. You picked Florida to get the win here.
I was crazy to you.
Well, the one thing that was holding me back here, and it wasn't, any belief in Arch Manning, it was DJ Lagway. DJ Lagway had not performed well this year as of yet. But how about this? I mean, this is kind of like the Nico Iamaleava situation. If there's talent there, it might not show up every week, but it can show up at some point. And Lagway really made it work here. Close to 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception in the game. Dallas Wilson, his new freshman wide receiver, 6 receptions for 111 yards and 2 touchdowns. Could be something to look at. And, of course, we know Florida, they're just interesting as a whole because we know they've got a gauntlet to run through. Couldn't top the top 4, teams in LSU and Miami when they played them. LSU now dropped, obviously, a little bit, but now beat Texas. And what do they get for this big win? They got at number 5 Texas A&M coming up next. So there's no rest for Florida and as they go, because you still got another top 4 matchup against Mississippi down the line as of now. There's also got Georgia, Tennessee, and Florida State left on the schedule. So we talked about it. Certain teams, if they go 6-6, it's not what you want, but it might not be the worst result given the schedule. Oklahoma's kind of going through that. They got Texas coming up this week. That's who Texas is going to have to bounce back against. But this was kind of just redemption week for, quarterbacks that maybe had been written off to a degree in DJ Lagway and Nico Iamaleava.
All right, Bob. Miami, 28. FSU, 22. Is this Miami team for real, Bob? I'm just saying, because if this is the Miami that's going to play the whole season like this, Bob, the U might be back already.
Yeah, they certainly feel like it. Last year, they were obviously in conversations with Cam Ward to win the ACC, to be that team, and ultimately they didn't do it, right? They kind of folded down the stretch. So maybe you wait for that, but at the same time, that Miami team wasn't all that tested. This Miami team's had quite the schedule themselves with Notre Dame and South Florida, now Florida and Florida State. I mean, they're 5-0, and 4 of their opponents have been, 3 of them ranked, and then you throw Florida in there who just beat Texas. Pretty difficult. And then again, like I said, sometimes it doesn't get a whole lot easier. In the ACC, it should. Their last kind of bigger test, at least as I see it, is they get the week off, but then they play the Friday after this upcoming Friday on ESPN2. That might be running congruent to Nebraska's game against Minnesota now that I think about it. But one way or the other, Louisville is the big test. So it's kind of interesting because Miami, they've gone through the gauntlet of their schedule. You look at the remaining part of their schedule now: Stanford at SMU. That could be difficult. This isn't last year's SMU team. Syracuse has certainly fallen off since last year. North Carolina State, Virginia Tech, and Pitt. So after Louisville, I think there's a pretty clear path for a Miami team that I don't think at all is a fluke. I had questions about him. I thought, I did not trust Mario Cristobal coming into the year. Didn't know if Carson Beck was going to be able to handle this as well as he has, but they're number 2 in the nation, and they have probably the best resume. They look the part.
Yeah, they looking pretty good. I just hate to see a good Miami team get left out this year. All right, Big Daddy Travis says, if Franklin get fired and Rule wins 9 games this year, does he leave if Penn State's come calling? That's a good question.
Well, again, I think you'd have to have some big victories under your belt if you're Matt Rule, because again, I don't think Franklin's getting fired. If Franklin leaves, I think the more likely than anything is Franklin gets fed up of all this kind of talk about this and leaves for a job that comes open. Though again, we talked about it before this weekend. People would say maybe the Florida job. Well, maybe Florida's Billy Napier's got something there. Maybe he can get something cooking. So it'd have to be a huge job. I just think the chances of James Franklin not being in Happy Valley next year are, I wouldn't say none, but slim to none, right? Not been wrong before. I mean, these things, they can kind of break down. But the problem with any idea about Nebraska losing Matt Rule to Penn State, which it's a good problem to have, because I don't think anybody wants to see that as right now, is that James Franklin's big thing thus far, outside of this past weekend, is not winning the big game, right? So they're going to want to hire somebody. If they did, for some reason, make a terrible decision to fire James Franklin and move on, they would be looking for somebody that probably has it on the resume that they win the big games. We know Matt Rule, more of a program builder, hasn't won all the big games.
Kurt Signetti.
Right, yeah. I mean, that would be, and Kurt Signetti would be the top name for just about anybody out there.
Yeah. All right, Bock, let's go to the next game. Let me see which one it was. I was looking at Cincinnati. Cincinnati, Iowa State. Bock, a lot of people are kind of being little babies because we beat Cincinnati and Cincinnati's beat Iowa State, and Cincinnati's got more votes than we do for the AP poll. Okay, people, this is how you do the math. Cincinnati beat a ranked team. Nebraska hasn't beaten a ranked team. You beat Cincinnati by what? Couple of points. I hate to play Cincinnati right now because they're in a roll, Bock.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it either. I mean, I get it. There's going to be holes all through the top 25 if you can point them out, because there's just too many games and kind of different outcomes that show. But I mean, again, if you're that upset about it, go back to the Nebraska-Cincinnati game and look how close that was. I don't think there's a whole lot of separation one way or the other between Nebraska and Cincinnati. Now, when it comes down to it, the wins and losses matter, right? And that's why we do this whole thing. So I get there's an argument there, but Cincinnati, like you said, just beat a top 15 team. And generally that's going to give you more buzz and kind of push you up. I think it can only help Nebraska, right? If Cincinnati can kind of jump into the rankings, jump into the Big 12 discussion, and that's where they are. And it's interesting too, because Cincinnati wasn't a team that looked terribly undisciplined against Nebraska, but 13 penalties for 128 yards held them back a little bit in this game. A lot of Iowa State to get back into it. Bit of a game of runs, much like the Nebraska game was as well. They jumped out to that 17-0 lead, and Brendan Sorsby, as we continue to track him and how well he's done, 13 of 25, 214 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also a touchdown on the ground and 64 yards rushing. So he gave Iowa State some fits on the ground too, much like he did Nebraska. I thought credit to Rocco Becht, kind of fighting on his own right for Iowa State, 30 of 48, 314 yards and 2 touchdowns. And all went pretty well. Benjamin Brahmer is on the Iowa State side, a junior, 6'7" out of Pierce, Nebraska, a guy that maybe was overlooked before. A lot of people would have liked to see him end up in a Husker uniform. He's been doing well, but at the end, they ran the play. They didn't have enough for enough yards to get the Hail Mary, so they kind of ran the lateral play. And I believe it was him that just kind of ran out of bounds and said, you know what, I'll just take the yards on this play. But that's never what you want to see. So he kind of got criticized from that. But as far as the Cincinnati Nebraska thing, again, I mean, if they continue to win, and you kind of look at the favorites in the Big 12, I wouldn't be too offended if they continue to kind of be a few slots ahead of Nebraska, because as you mentioned, it's the big win category. Now, if Nebraska played Iowa State, could they beat them too? Potentially, we'd see. I think it could be a game. And I've said all along, I don't know if Iowa State, despite their 5-0 start, has looked the most dominant throughout that. So I think it could be a close game, and I think they're pretty close to each other. But again, it's a little bit too of what have you done for me lately?
All right, Buck. AP Top 25 comes out. Ohio State number 1, Miami 2, Oregon 3, Ole Miss 4, A&M 5. Trail Barbers up there. Oklahoma 6, Indiana 7, Alabama 8, Texas Tech 9, UGA 10, LSU 11, Tennessee 12, Georgia Tech 13, Missouri 14, Michigan 15. Notre Dame 16 at 3-2. That was kills me. But Illinois 17, BYU 18, Virginia is 19. Vanderbilt, who lost their first game to Alabama over the weekend, is 20. Arizona State 21. Iowa State 22. Memphis, the longest winning streak in D1 right now, Bob, belongs to Memphis. 10 games.
How about that?
They're number 23.
And they're bowl eligible. They're
first team bowl eligible. South Florida 4-1 and Florida State 3-2.
Yeah, and you look at too, and obviously that's where the Nebraska fans started to get kind of frustrated. Is the others receiving votes? The Cincinnati is right on the gate knocking in. They're so 26th, if you will. They have the most others receiving votes. Then Texas, then Penn State, then Utah, then Nebraska. But still kind of interesting from there because Southern Cal has less votes than Nebraska. UNLV does. Washington, another team that does that Nebraska's going to play here around the. Well, they're not going to play Washington, but they're going to play Maryland, a team that Washington just beat. So interesting. We've seen too. Nebraska's opened up as a favorite against Maryland. We'll have plenty of time to talk about that game as it approaches, but it seems like to me a pretty even matchup or close to an even matchup. So at times, maybe Nebraska has an argument to be a top 25 team. I guess I'm not all that worried about it. I think it'll play out. I mean, you just got to continue to get these wins. There's not going to be a massive jump from Nebraska from week to week until you kind of get to maybe beating, and we'll see what Southern Cal does. They've got an opportunity this week as well. They've got a game against Michigan that could propel them probably, right back into top 20, top 15 like contention. We'll see what Penn State does, but there's no, I don't know. I'm not sure if there's a huge game on Nebraska's schedule that can get them a big jump. So it's just going to be win after win, kind of move up as you can. Are you offended Nebraska's not in the top 25? Do they look like a top 25 team to you?
Well, bottom half, just like it is now. I don't think we played anybody to really prove that we're supposed to be in it. I know the only thing you could do is keep winning and winning, and hopefully you hit it. If we want a chance for the playoffs, I think we need to get in by this weekend or next weekend because football season is getting shorter and shorter each week. So we have to make our move, and we have to make it now.
Yeah, and again, it's been a wild weekend, and it's just there's a lot of great games this upcoming week. And so if Nebraska does beat Maryland, I would think that they'd either be right there knocking on the door or in the top 25 next week.
All right, Bock, let's go to break. And when we come back, we're going to go over the games and we're going to listen to a little Matt Rule today. 93.7 The Ticket, Bock in the Black Shirt.
From the capital to castles, starting this December, fly nonstop from Lincoln to Orlando with service from Breeze Airways. That's right, nonstop flights to Orlando out of LNK are starting this December. You're now just a flight away from Disney World, Universal Studios, Legoland, and the Space Coast. Stretch out and relax on Breeze with complimentary family seating. Book your magical getaway now at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
This just in, hot off the bench press. Planet Fitness has expanded strength equipment. We're raising the bar with these benches, and our hack squat will have you actually looking forward to leg day. Plus, we're still repping all the best-in-class equipment we've always had. There's no better time to get stronger. Join the club today for $1 down, $15 a month, now through October 10th. Planet Fitness is proud to partner with Boys and Girls Clubs of America to create stronger, kinder communities. See Home Club for details.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schweizo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here, and I've got some great news for you. Koppel Chevrolet GMC is proud to be the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln metros. Koppel is also celebrating its 50th anniversary. We want to say thank you to all of our customers that have helped us reach these milestones. So come see why so many customers, including myself, are choosing Koppel Chevrolet GMC for their automotive needs. Please check us out at koppelcars.com.
Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. All right, Bock, let's go through our games this weekend.
All right, it was a good weekend for everybody. Actually, everybody did pretty well. Once again, I have done the worst of everybody, but still did pretty well on my own. Or I guess I tied you this week, Terrell, but I was one game behind you entering the game. So as we look at it, 8-2 weeks for myself and Terrell. Text line once again flexing its muscle. 9-1. The text line went this week. The only miss was Florida over Texas, which you did have in your picks, Terrell. But you did miss the Louisville and Houston game. Louisville went to overtime to lose to Virginia, so that was close. Houston wasn't necessarily too close against Texas Tech. I also missed the pick as far as Florida beating Texas, and I also went out on a limb and thought Vanderbilt might be able to beat Alabama. That, of course, did not happen. Yeah. Well, it was a close game for a while, and then it wasn't. We were also we all picked Washington, and I think we're all sweating a little bit about that throughout the game because it looked like Maryland was going to get that win. Washington ended up storming back from a 20-0
I picked Washington too?
Yeah.
I thought I picked Maryland.
Well, at least I wrote down Washington. We can go back and check the tape.
No, it's all good. It's done now. It's done and over with.
Yeah.
All right,
so
Bob.
on the year, by the way,
Yeah.
text line 43-22 in the lead. You are 42-23, Terrell. So just one game back, and I'm 41-24. So through 5 weeks, it's a close race.
All right, I can live with that.
Yeah,
I can. All right, Bob. Let me see. We got something on the text line. Let's see. Big Daddy Travis says, if Nebraska's beat Maryland by 21, will they be ranked? Depends how the rest of the top 25 go.
Yeah. I think a big victory there could do wonders for them because I do think Maryland is considered to be that. I don't expect a 21-plus victory against Maryland. In fact, I expect to be sweating it out.
All right, Bob. I asked Adam a question earlier. I'm going to ask you the same question. Who is that four? Who's the number 4 team in the Big Ten right now when we talk about trying to get 4 bids to the college football playoffs?
Yeah, a lot of us presumed that Penn State would be there. We went over earlier how there's still a path, but they've got Ohio State, Indiana on their schedule. It's still going to be difficult. Obviously, Oregon, Ohio State, and Indiana are the 3 that you assume in right now. And then from there, you've got Michigan and Illinois kind of knocking on the door. So, I mean, those would be the teams that I would think would have the closest opportunity. USC, in kind of right behind there. Nebraska, with just their 1 loss to Michigan, could be in there. So I think there's enough competition in that group that maybe the Big Ten could still be represented and get 4 in. But it's not a given. I mean, these are not auto bids. You're not going to automatically get 4. So we'll see if that happens. I think Michigan would probably be the leader in the clubhouse, though, for that opportunity at this point.
All right, Bock, let me see who we got. Let me see how it is now. Oh, this is not it. Big Ten Power Rankings. All right, here we go. All right, Big Ten Power Rankings. Let's see where it's at right now, Bock. Who's number 1? Ohio State's number 1. Oregon's number 2. Indiana's 3. UCLA 4.
UCLA?
Yes. Michigan's 5. Penn State 6. Nebraska 7. Washington 8. Illinois 9. Iowa 10. I'm just gonna give you the top 10. Then you got a
I don't know how UCLA's up at number 4.
And then you have a 4-1 Maryland team who's 14.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Those are some whack rankings. I get it. UCLA had a big week. Maybe if you're kind of thinking about who you'd most not want to play this upcoming week, but even then, there would be some other teams that I would probably rank ahead of them. So I don't know. I mean, again, that's why I think you kind of look at the traditional rankings. You can kind of see that a little bit easier. That Southern Cal again on the outside looking in, but just the 1 loss to Illinois this year. If Illinois finishes strong, that might not hurt them that much. And of course, as we know, any team in the Big Ten with just 1 loss at this time has an opportunity. You get 2, probably still going to be in. 3 losses, that's probably where you're going to be not making not making the playoffs and maybe getting ready for a bowl, if that. So, yeah, I think that it's a pretty good group. I mean, not everybody that gets in is going to be expected to make the same run, right? Or be as strong as maybe those teams at the top. So I could see it. I mean, it could be a 3-bid league, but I'm not sure because how many are going to come from the Big 12? How many are going to come from the ACC? And then certainly how many are going to come from the SEC? Because the SEC has all year had 10, 11, 12, not 12, but 10 or 11 teams ranked. And so they're probably going to get the most in, and that's not going to make everybody happy. But we've been saying it all year too. Seems like the SEC is deeper than the Big Ten this year. The Big Ten maybe a little bit more top heavy. Again, that can change from week to week. In the Big Ten's deep enough with all those teams that I'm talking about, still with an opportunity.
All right, Bock, Big Ten football this weekend, Michigan versus USC. Who's that? Iowa versus Wisconsin, Nebraska, Maryland, UCLA, Michigan State, Indiana versus Oregon, which is going to be a good one, Purdue versus Minnesota, Rutgers versus Washington, OSU, Ohio State versus Illinois, and Northwestern versus Penn State.
Yeah, a lot of good ones there. Like you said, Indiana, Oregon. That's for basically the top of the Big Ten, of course, along with Ohio State up there. That could sure, I mean, we talk about Cignetti now. If he gets that win, talk about shaking up college football. That would be exciting. It's just one of those weeks. I think Michigan, USC could really go either way and kind of right there, kind of determine who's the leader in the clubhouse to get that 4th spot that you're talking about. So, yeah, some good games, some intriguing games, and then always some games that we're maybe overlooking because there's the opportunity for an upset. Going into this week, not a whole lot of people were circling Penn State and UCLA and say that's going to be one of the most talked about games of the weekend, one of the biggest games in the Big Ten. Well, you're probably kind of doing the same thing in some of those games as you run them down, but you never know what can happen.
All right. Let's see where we're going to go.
We do have, I do want to announce this because it was just released not too long ago. Deshaun Singleton has been named Defensive Player of the Week in the Big Ten. So shout out to the Black Shirts. Shout out to Deshaun Singleton. Was able to get that award despite, as you mentioned earlier, that fumble recovery for a touchdown being called off, but did have the 2 interceptions. So that was good enough for Singleton. We'll see if he can kind of get into that all Big Ten discussion. I agree with you because I thought the same thing right when it happened. I said, he's going to get all Big Ten on this game alone. And then, of course, wiping off a defensive touchdown will hurt you quite a bit in that argument. But he is the Defensive Player of the Week.
All right, Bock, let's go to hot seat coaches of the week right here. Luke Fickell, James Franklin, Trent Differ, Bill O'Brien, and Trent Bray. That's it so far.
Yeah, and Trent Bray just had to fire his special teams coach, from this past weekend. I think Oregon State's winless, so that's going to be difficult. We mentioned earlier and talked a little bit about it. Nebraska's bowl opponent from last year, Boston College. I mean, Bill O'Brien getting them there, just to the bowl game was kind of big for where their program had been. But this year it is not going well. They are now 1-4 on the season. So, it's just second year, under Bill O'Brien. So I don't know if he's going to completely be on the hot seat, but this past week, get fired or anything, but they lost 7-48 to Pittsburgh. So that's not going to be able to get it done. They're really wishing they could have got that one back against Michigan State, which they end up losing 42-40 in double overtime. But yeah, that's not heading the right direction. And I'm just really counting down. I'm not sure that Luke Fickell is going to make it through the season. I think he's the most likely to be fired next from just about anybody, partially just due to the schedule that they have. There's going to be plenty more opportunities for embarrassment for the Wisconsin Badgers, who in their last 3 losses have scored 14 points, 10 points, and 10 points, and have obviously struggled a little bit keeping their quarterback healthy. If it doesn't happen this week, we'll see. Maybe, Iowa, you never know. Iowa's lost to bad teams before. It can happen. So that might be able to help them. But Iowa this week, that's a rivalry game. Fans aren't going to be happy. That could be where it happens. The next 2 weeks after that, Ohio State and at Oregon. So very much could happen in that situation in one of those games. And then the rest of the year, as we talked about all year, the Wisconsin schedule does not really get a whole lot easier. So again, 2-3 at this point with games with Iowa, Ohio State, at number 3, Oregon, Washington, at Indiana, Illinois at home, and at Minnesota. So I don't think they get another win. So I think it's just a matter of time.
Who that?
Wisconsin.
Oh, man. We don't play them this year, do we?
We do not.
Okay.
Be nice to have them on the schedule.
Yeah, free pick.
That's right.
All right, Bock, let's go to break. And when we come back, we'll close it out for Bock and the Black Shirt. We're going to save Matt Rule for tomorrow.
Okay.
We're going to save it for tomorrow. We still got a little bit more stuff to go over. 93.7 The Ticket, Bock and the Black Shirt. Be right back.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Advanced Medical Imaging is hosting their 3rd annual Breast Cancer Awareness Walk on October 11th at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. Hear inspiring stories from survivors, enjoy local food truck vendors, a live DJ, and other family-friendly activities as we unite to bring awareness about breast cancer. Check-in begins at 8:30 a.m. with the walk starting at 9. Register your team today for Advanced Medical Imaging's 3rd annual Breast Cancer Awareness Walk online at amimaging.com. Let's walk for those we've lost, for those still fighting, and for a future without breast cancer. Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle.
Hi, Sean Callahan here, and I've got some great news for you. Copple Chevrolet GMC is proud to be the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln metros. Copple is also celebrating its 50th anniversary. We want to say thank you to all of our customers that have helped us reach these milestones. So come see why so many customers, including myself, are choosing Copple Chevrolet GMC for their automotive needs. Please check us out at copplecars.com.
Load up on meat and more this spring at The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to The Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
This is your year, where your team takes it all the way. Win way more than bragging rights at Warhorse Casino, where your love of the game could put $1 million in your pocket. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with prizes all season long. Weekly cash prizes up to $1,000 cash, season-long leaderboards, and a chance to win $1 million. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Salt Mine City is your go-to brewery in the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their Big Fatty 7-ounce hamburger or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock the Blackshirt, 93.7 The Ticket. Bock, how many undefeated teams are at Bock?
Well, we did this last week. I think that we're down to like 21 last week.
Something like that.
I'm going to say that 14 made it through the weekend.
1, 2, 3, 4. 15.
15. Pretty good guess.
Yeah.
Wish Nebraska was part of that.
Can you name those 15?
Absolutely not.
I know you can.
We tried to do this last week, and I didn't get very far. of course, Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana, from the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I could do it by conference here. And then we get into the Big 12. Texas Tech still there. ACC, you've got Miami.
Okay.
Did I already skip somebody in the Big 12?
No, I don't know.
Well, Houston's no longer there.
Uh-huh. You're right.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't do it all. I better jump to the SEC. Texas A&M, Oklahoma. Yeah, I'm just embarrassing myself. I can't get too far in this. Memphis, I know, is in there.
You had it, Bob.
I was going on to good.
Yeah, you got it, Bob.
I think I played like 8 or 9.
ACC.
I mentioned Miami. No, I'm not going to get very far.
Sure.
Tech, Georgia Tech. That was the team. There was a team that I was thinking.
UNLV.
Still undefeated. UNLV, nice, yeah.
North Texas.
Yeah, wasn't going to get that.
BYU.
Okay, another Big 12.
Navy.
Or
the teams you missed.
Yeah. Okay, I wasn't too far off.
Yeah, you wasn't too far. It wasn't bad.
For having done this whole thing last week, though, maybe I could do a little bit better. I got to remember those teams, the Memphis and Navies of the world.
Yeah. All right, Bob, what you got?
Well, it's time. It's been a long time, but it is time for another LeBron James decision. He has announced today that the decision part 2 is coming. Of course, the originally known as the decision was this decision to leave Cleveland and go to Miami. Now the decision part 2 is, I think he lined this up perfectly. I don't know if you talked to him or what, Terrell, but he's going to announce it at 11. I guess it's going to be 11 tomorrow. Okay, so not for our show.
Is he a free agent or what?
Maybe I don't know what he's in now. I think more often than what I've seen from reading between the lines here is this is probably a show announcement. They're staging it obviously in a way to be able to get the most eyeballs as they can on it, and calling it the announcement part 2 is part of it. But from what I've read so far, it is likely not have a whole lot to do with his career. But if it does, I mean that can shake the grounds of the NBA as we know it. Of course, him and Luka teaming out there in LA for the first full year this season. We'll see what they can get done. DeAndre Ayton, Marcus Smart, some of the guys that they brought in this offseason that maybe can help them out. But still, I mean, the West is ridiculously tough out there once the NBA comes calling. So I'm not really sure, but yeah, I if you're expecting the same level of impact from the decision part 2 from the original decision, maybe it has something to do with Bronny. Maybe he's cutting his son. He's got some power up there with the LA front office, but no, I don't think that's gonna
happen.
Yeah. So we'll see. But as you mentioned, there's a lot of good games coming up this week. Kind of went through some of the ones in the Big 12, but it's just or in the Big 10, excuse me. It's fun. I mean, these super leagues are creating a lot of fun matchups week in and week out. So the matchups you didn't mention, you already mentioned some in the Big 10, but outside the Big 10 this week, number 8 Alabama at number 14 Missouri. Man, that's going to be good. Oklahoma and Texas in the Red River Shootout. That's always going to be good. By the way, Texas favored in that one, despite 2 losses in Oklahoma being number 6. Texas A&M in Florida definitely will be an interesting. Georgia and Auburn, somewhat of an underrated rivalry from your neck of the woods. I mean, that is the rivalry for where you're from, right? And then a couple other games in there that could be interesting. Those are the primary ones, though, that I think are going to be interesting. It's unfortunate Nebraska, of course, playing at 2:30. I think that Indiana Oregon game's at 2:30 as well.
Damn.
So you're gonna have to double screen or have the Indiana Oregon game on your phone or something.
Reports are coming out that Nebraska will break his routine this week and travel on Thursday to Maryland, flying into BWI and staying around Batista, Maryland, ahead of Saturday's 3:30 kickoff against Maryland.
Yeah, and there's been a lot about with these super conferences is the travel from coast to coast. Of course, we just saw Penn State, travel all that way to UCLA and not get the result that they wanted. So maybe this is part of that. Is, as you're mentioning, kind of notable that they're leaving a day earlier than they usually do. Maybe to kind of settle in a little bit more, not let that time zone difference bother them as much. Of course, Nebraska being centralized, doesn't have is never going to go from coast to coast. So, that can kind of be a difficult thing for these, West Coast and East Coast teams playing in the same conference. So it shouldn't hurt Nebraska as much, but maybe that's an adjustment that Matt Rule and the coaching staff and the folks over there at Nebraska are kind of thinking about when they make this move.
All right, Bach. I don't think it's no more undefeated NFL teams, is it, Bach?
No, there is not.
Oh, yeah. And your team is terrible, Bach.
Yes. There's a certain, every year you try to hang on and hope for your team for the best. And there's just moments that you just go, I don't think that it's going to happen this year for my team. And the Cardinals yesterday, while playing the Titans, the winless Tennessee Titans, jumped up early 21-6. And then DeMarcado, one of the running backs, ran the ball 75 yards into the end zone. But just before he got there, he let go of the ball. Somehow that's happening again. So no touchdown there. Later in the game, Arizona picks off Cam Ward as Tennessee was driving and then fumbles the pick. The fumble goes into the end zone and Tennessee gets on it. So it's a touchdown on an interception for the team throwing the interception, if you can believe that. And then they give up a game-winning field goal at the end. Third straight week with a game-winning field goal, downing the Cardinals. And, there's just, again, it's a long season. Maybe they can get, this was definitely one they should have won. The Cardinals are a team with not a whole lot of room for error. If they are going to make the playoffs, they're going to have to play their best ball and win some of these close games. And it hasn't happened this year. And blowing that one was pretty rough. But again, that's kind of being a Cardinals fan. Certain years you have to wait for them to blow it. Last year, they made it all the way to like week 15 before I gave up on them, and they lost to the hapless Carolina team that kind of took them out of playoff contention. This year, I don't know if I'm gonna at the Jake Sorensen level of giving up on the Dolphins, but I'm pretty darn close after that game.
Well, don't feel bad about it, Bach. I haven't given up on my Falcons yet, so hopefully we got some room for you on the bandwagon if you want to come on over and be a dirty bird.
Be a dirty bird instead of a clean red bird.
All right, Austin and Jay Foreman is up next. Old school here at 93.7 The Ticket. Bock the Blackshirt. We out.
This is your year where your team takes it all the way.